So welcome everyone to Daily Practice with Nikhil, and today, as the name suggests, we are going to be working with resistance. And in today's practice, we are going to invite you all to explore two forms of resistance. And these two forms may be separate. You might see it as separate, but they are deeply connected. The first is the inner resistance, that familiar feeling that you don't want to meditate or don't want to do the thing. When you think you are too tired, what's the point? I'll just skip today. And the second is an outer resistance, the moment when you feel someone is wrong or misguided, and first urge is to jump in and correct them. Maybe it's in a conversation or online or at work, and suddenly your body tenses and your mind starts to form rebuttals. We create these narratives within ourselves to come up with amazing responses. We feel great, we feel proud. At first glance, these two things, the inner resistance and outer resistance, might seem unrelated because we think it might be separate. But what we are going to explore is, I think they come from the same root. And the root being a need to control discomfort, to be right, whether with ourselves or others. So, what if your meditation and its resistance and the urge to correct others are actually invitations for deeper freedom? I want to explore this with you. So if you're interested, please follow along. And if you like what we're doing, please come back, please share, please keep your comments coming. I would really like to know more and learn more. So I want to explore this further with you, the concept of this resistance. And if you're like me, you might recognize that these patterns are in you as well, and maybe even feel that you are stuck in them. So before we dive in, let me ask you, have you ever noticed that the days you most need to meditate are exactly the days you don't feel like doing it? Or that moments you want to push back at someone's opinion are actually the moments where something bigger is happening inside you? So let's explore this together. So I want to start with the meditation itself. Many people imagine meditation as a peaceful, relaxing, and calming, and sometimes it is. But if you've been practicing like for long, like we have been doing, you'll know it's not always comfortable. In fact, meditation often amplifies what we might be avoiding: your anxiety, your frustration, your sadness, your boredom, all of that. Your nervous system is designed to avoid this discomfort. And meditation asks you to be with it. That's why the voice inside you says, skip it, I'm tired, it won't help anyway, and all the other things that go along with it. Now, a lot of people associate that as laziness or weakness, but it's your brain trying to protect you from unpleasant feelings. And it's sometimes called the habit loop. Your mind craves immediate relief, so it pulls away from a practice, and you feel that relief. You might have felt it. So days when you have something planned and you were dreading that plan, and then suddenly it gets cancelled, you feel a sense of, oh, relief. You feel, oh, I'm light, I'm happy. Oh. But it's not really a real joy. It is more of an absence of suffering. But here's the good news. With what we do here, with mindfulness, with practicing self-awareness, we can interrupt this loop. So the key being, as always, acceptance, gratitude, kindness, love, and compassion. So when you notice your resistance, don't fight it or shame yourself. Instead, pause and ask, what is it that I'm really avoiding right now? Is it fear? Is it fatigue? Is it the thought that being here won't change anything? And then gently invite yourself to try just one breath. One breath, not an hour, not perfectly, just one breath of kindness towards yourself. Meditation is not about comfort, it's about meeting life. So we have to lean into this slight discomfort and welcome it like an old friend. So this is where the real practice lies, not in escaping, but in coming home to whatever is here, even when it's hard. So if you've skipped the practice before or felt guilty about it even, here's a reminder. It's okay to miss. What matters more is the comeback. Even if it's only for one breath, one moment of awareness, this is still practice. Pause for a moment now. Let us all pause for a moment. So there may be people who are here who may have been meditating for a while and taking a break, or just watching how their mind operates when it comes to meditation. So all of us are in different spectrum, different points in this continuous journey. So let us all just pause for a moment. Take a breath with me in slowly and out slowly. And know that even that small, very small act of returning is building a new habit. Maybe do it again without you just carrying on with your day-to-day life. Just pause here again. Take a breath in with me today. In and out. Slowly. And even that is practice. Now let's turn outward. The resistance which comes outward. Have you noticed how quickly your body reacts when someone says something you believe is wrong? Maybe a friend, this is what I was explaining. When I was in an argument with my friend, my body was going crazy. It was basically saying, oh, all the will in my body, you need to target this towards my friend and try to argue and get my point across. And I was feeling so tight, I was feeling so stiff. I was not even paying attention to what they were saying. It was simply, I was just waiting for a moment to go back. Your heart rate is up. Your mind jumps to different conclusions about the person. You start to think very different thoughts about this person just because they had a different opinion. So why does this happen? On one level, it's normal to want the truth and clarity in the world, which we all seek. But more often, this urge to correct comes from ego, the part of us that craves certainty, safety, and control. That's where it comes from. So our identity feels threatened when others disagree. It's like a defense mechanism kicks in, telling us to defend our views, to protect our sense of self. Spiritual teachers have long spoken about freedom from opinion, how our attachment to being right keeps us trapped in conflict. Defending a position is the first act of war in this sense. When we rush to correct, we often escalate inner and outer conflict. So pause and reflect for a moment. When was the last time you felt the urge to correct someone? Maybe you are thinking about it right now as I speak. Maybe you want to correct me. Maybe you want to point out what is happening in this moment. Maybe I am saying things which contradict your point of view. Maybe it is actually agreeing with you, but you have a different view and you are wondering how to express that. What was the real drive behind this urge? Was it the truth? Or was it a need to feel safety, acceptance, and control? Imagine you could hold your position, so whatever you believe in still is true for you, without needing to prove it. Can you do that? Can you be with the truth you know, which may be different from someone else's idea of truth, or the thing you know, while there is contradicting viewpoints, and without needing to prove it, like you are in some sort of debating circle? Now, don't get me wrong, good conversation needs challenge and criticism and constructive feedback, and all of that is applicable in any conversation. I am talking about the urge to be right here. It's not the discussion or the different evaluations of things which we need to do. We need to be more nuanced. We need to challenge each other in different things. But this is not about that. This is about the resistance. Is that resistance? If we are able to speak openly without feeling that resistance, or without that resistance taking over the conversation, then we will have amazing conversation. But unfortunately, most of us fall into the trap of noticing that urge to challenge, to come up with the need to be right. What would happen if you simply noticed the urge to correct without acting on it for this moment? This pause, this mindful space. And as soon as you do that, you have created space for wisdom. It's not about suppressing your opinion or being passive, as I explained. It's about choosing how to respond consciously, depending on context, depending on conditions, depending on time of the day, depending on where you are, who you are with. And when you let others have their opinion, have their cake and eat it, let others be wrong. And when you do that, you create space for peace, compassion, and connection. So here's a connection I want you to remember. Both the urge to skip meditation, for example, and the urge to correct others come from the same place. A deep need for comfort, control, and identity. So your ego doesn't want discomfort inside or conflict outside. And mindfulness practices invites us to notice these urges and to see them as passing experiences, not as facts we must act on immediately, but it trains us in non attachment to thoughts, feelings, and outcomes. So ask yourself, can I observe my desire for control as something temporary rather than a fixed truth? How does clinging to this control affect my peace? So, the freedom mindfulness offers is not freedom from discomfort, but freedom in discomfort. Is the ability to choose your response even when the mind screams to react. So let's make this practical. Here are 4 steps you can try today whenever resistance shows up, whether inside or outside. Number 1, start small. When you don't feel like meditating or doing the thing you don't want to do, commit to a very small enough task. So 1 breath of awareness or 5 breaths of awareness, that's enough. 2, notice the urge. Whether it's to skip the practice or to correct someone, pause and breathe and ask, what am I really protecting here right now? Am I protecting my comfort? 3, as we do in these practices, practice radical acceptance, which is where we accept the situation no matter what we feel about it or think about it. Let discomfort, disagreement, imperfection be as they are without needing to fix or run. And 4, choose kindness to yourself and others. Remember that freedom grows in compassion, not control. Freedom grows in compassion and not control. So here's another journaling prompt for you today. Today, where do I resist sitting quietly? And where do I resist letting go of the need to be right? And writing this down can clarify and deepen your practice. So let us sit and let it be. So I invite you into a short meditation practice. Now, if you're able, find a comfortable seat. Maybe close your eyes if this is convenient or if you'd like. Take a slow breath in and a slow breath out. Bring to mind something you are resisting today. Maybe it's the idea of sitting down to meditate. Or maybe you're avoiding a person whose words or action may trigger your urge to react. Simply notice what you feel in your body. There may be tightness, tension, heat, fatigue, agitation. And when you picture this, you normally want to change it. But today, we are letting things be. Just being with it. Just be with whatever is arising. Say to yourself quietly, this too is part of the practice. I do not need to correct. I do not need to run. I just need to be here. This too is part of the practice. I do not need to be correct. I do not need to run. I just need to be here. This too is part of the practice. I do not need to correct. I do not need to run. I just need to be here. Now take another deep breath in and breathe out slowly. And when you're ready, just gently open your eyes. Thank you for being with me today. Remember, you don't need to meditate perfectly, and there is no such thing as meditation perfection. You don't need to fix everyone around you. You just need to show up for yourself, especially when things may be difficult. Try it and see what happens. Resistance is a teacher, not an enemy. If you feel stuck or frustrated, return with curiosity and kindness. This is your daily practice. So, if this episode resonated with you, feel free to share it, feel free to comment about it, feel free to write about it. And I would like you to reflect on it, reach out, share your stories. We are in this together. So, until next time, stay kind, stay free, keep practicing. I'm Nikhil, and this is Daily Practice. Thank you for tuning in. Take it easy.